Hello, my friends. This is The Art of Prepping. Hope you guys are doing well today. I received a question recently about what would you do if the grocery stores ran out of food? And that would be kind of bizarre, and for a lot of people, something that they've never seen before. It would kind of create a lot of stress in your local community. And if this was more widespread, this would be very concerning, and a lot of people would be desperate in a very short period of time. So what can you do now, though, to mitigate the problems of something like that? Of something like a scenario that you go to your grocery store and you see it closed, you look through the windows and you see that all the shelving is bare. No food in the grocery store. Well, you can do some things ahead of time, like not going through all your food in your pantry before going to the grocery store. So, for example, instead of eating the last can of beans, you go to the grocery store days ahead of that. Now, like what I do is I might eat on my pantry for a week or two and then go to the grocery store, even though I have several more weeks of food in the pantry. And so that's just the pantry level. That's just what's in your kitchen. So don't just wait until the last minute to resupply. Another thing you can do is to build up a reserve rations, a collection of food. Some people like to call this their second pantry number 2. And so this could be an emergency food supply. And this could be as large as you want it to be, and a lot of preppers do this. They have extra food put back beyond their standalone pantry in the kitchen. Outside of that, you can grow your own food, right? You can have a garden. You can sprout seeds. You can raise animals. If you need even more food than what you can get from that, you can go hunt or trap or fish. You can go out and collect wild edibles, right? You can go forage. I know on my property alone, there's so much that is edible. It really is surprising when you start to look. I have walnuts everywhere, acorns everywhere. There's all different types of tree barks that can be edible. There's plants on the ground. At different times of the year, there's just different things available. I know in the spring and early summer, I have a very large number of wild garlic that pops up, and even lettuce. So we have, depending on where you live, you probably have resources that you're just not aware of. So I would learn about those. If things get really bad, though, and there's not enough to fish or hunt or forage, and you just can't find anything to eat in your home, then you may have to reach out to other people, organizations, for help. But they may be in the same situation that you're in, and you may not get any help. So then you may have to transition to this next part, which is more about barter and trade, being more strategic on how you get food. So you could offer your service for whatever it is that the person needs in return for food. And in some cases, if you have money, you can just offer money for food. Or if you have items that may be desirable, maybe offer those for food. So basically what we're looking here is that the stuff that you can control and that you have a handle on is plan A. Plan B is you asking other people for help. Plan C is barter and trade. And this last one is plan D. And that is to relocate to a more resource-rich environment. And so I would kind of definitely have some plans on this one. So if you are forced to leave your home because there's not enough food, I would always leave a few days before you completely run out of food. Before you completely run out of resources, I would leave. I wouldn't just like have nothing and then decide I need to go travel. I'd have some food for the travel. Now, with this being said, I would definitely go to some places that people. I wouldn't just go to a large city or any place really that you don't know anyone. So I would definitely have places marked out north of me, south of me, east of me, west of me. And even if it's just written down, in a vague way, at least you have a starting point to think about it. So if you know that the outages, and the food shortages are east of you and mostly north of you, then you kind of have options. Maybe you can go south or maybe you can go west. And this is where it's really nice to have a really good radio that you can kind of, listen and get some information of where there still is resources. And maybe you go there. So some things to think about, but most emergencies don't last, months and months and months. From my research, most emergencies last up to 2 weeks. But there have been, even in the modern day, situations where you have a really bad storm, a hurricane, that causes infrastructure problems for months and months. And in rare cases, even years. So it just takes time for some locations to build back. And, infrastructure is not an easy thing to just, assemble overnight. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of money. So I would do the things now that you can to mitigate hardship, to reduce suffering. And so just in summary of all this that I just said, I created an outline. It's a very brief outline that I want you to see now. I'm just going to put this here at the end of the video, and hopefully this kind of helps to summarize what I just spoke of. So you can kind of have a really concrete idea of plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.